Did alien genetic engineers create mankind? And that suppressed evidence has rewritten what we thought we knew about human evolution. This documentary exposes the alien influence and tampering within our DNA. The truth of our origins has been deliberately hidden from the public to keep us from knowing our true potential. To truly grasp the magnitude of this revelation, we must journey back to the ancient world, to a time when the Annunaki, an advanced extraterrestrial race from the planet Nibiru, arrived on Earth seeking gold. These beings, possessing technology far beyond our current understanding, found themselves facing a daunting task, extracting vast quantities of this precious metal from the harsh and unforgiving landscape of early Earth. The conditions were brutal, and the Annunaki Ijigi, the worker class, grew weary of the endless toil. They grew disgruntled. Thus, it was determined that a solution was required. A workforce was needed, one capable of enduring the harsh conditions and performing the arduous tasks required to obtain the gold. This is where the mystery of human origins begins to deepen. Scientists have long puzzled over the missing link in human evolution, the sudden and seemingly inexplicable appearance of Homo sapiens with cognitive abilities far surpassing any other species on Earth. What triggered this sudden leap forward? Was it simply a random mutation, or was there a more deliberate hand at play? Within the human genome lie anomalies, stretches of DNA that do not appear to fit neatly into the standard evolutionary model. Junk DNA, as it has been dubbed, comprises a significant portion of our genetic code, and its function remains largely unknown. However, what if this so-called junk DNA is not junk at all, but rather encoded information, a genetic signature left behind by our alien creators? Could it be dormant code within our DNA, awaiting activation? According to translated Sumerian tablets, the Annunaki leader Enki, a brilliant scientist and engineer, proposed a solution to the Annunaki Council: the creation of a new species, a hybrid being capable of serving as a workforce. Enki, with the assistance of Ninharsag, the Annunaki chief medical officer, embarked on a groundbreaking experiment: the genetic manipulation of existing hominids on Earth, infusing them with Annunaki DNA to create a being more intelligent, more adaptable, and more capable of following instructions. It is essential to acknowledge that mainstream science largely supports the theory of natural evolution. However, could it be possible that natural evolution is only part of the story? What if extraterrestrial intervention played a crucial role in shaping the destiny of mankind? As Zecharia Sitchin, a renowned researcher of ancient astronaut theories, stated, the Anunnaki possessed the ability to manipulate genes. They had technologies unknown to human science. Consider the ancient structures scattered across our planet, monuments of incredible precision and mathematical complexity. The pyramids of Giza, for example, stand as testaments to a level of engineering prowess that seems impossible to replicate even with modern technology. Were these structures built solely by human hands, using primitive tools, or were they assisted by the advanced technology of the Anunnaki? Could the precision alignment of these structures with celestial bodies be a reflection of the Anunnaki's advanced knowledge of astronomy and their connection to the cosmos? Could humanity be the result of deliberate genetic engineering by an extraterrestrial race, with junk DNA holding the key to unlocking our true potential? We will now embark on this journey of discovery that pieces together all the potential evidence. Did you know that the term junk DNA may be one of the greatest misnomers in modern science? The core of this premise lies in understanding that what scientists once dismissed as inert genetic material, non-coding DNA, is increasingly being recognized as a treasure trove of biological information. This encoded information could represent a blueprint for something far beyond our current comprehension, a fail-safe mechanism, or even a dormant program waiting to be activated. Let's dive deep into this. Consider the groundbreaking research of Dr. So-and-so, a leading geneticist at the forefront of exploring non-coding DNA's Dr. Tian. Dr. So-and-so's meticulous work challenges the conventional view, proposing that non-coding regions, rather than being evolutionary leftovers, play a pivotal role in gene regulation and cellular processes. What's really fascinating is that certain segments of non-coding DNA exhibit structural similarities to retroviruses, genetic material that integrates itself into the host's genome. Could these segments be remnants of ancient viral infections, or could they be deliberately engineered sequences introduced by an extraterrestrial source? According to translated Sumerian tablets, the Anunnaki possessed advanced genetic engineering capabilities, manipulating human DNA to create a workforce suited to their needs. The epic tale of Enki, the Anunnaki scientist, crafting humans from clay mixed with Anunnaki essence, echoes through the millennia. Can these ancient myths be connected to modern genetic anomalies? Humans possess 46 chromosomes while other primates have 48. What does it mean? Let's consider chromosome 2. Chromosome 2 is a key point in this entire discussion. A study published in Nature revealed that human chromosome 2 was formed through the fusion of two ancestral chromosomes. While scientists attribute this fusion to natural evolutionary processes, the precision and efficiency of this event raise questions. What if this fusion was not a random occurrence but a deliberate act of genetic engineering, a signature of Anunnaki intervention? Recount the stories of how Enki created humans to work for him in the mines. The implications of the Sumerian account are profound. What if these myths are not just allegorical tales but accurate descriptions of historical events? To understand this, it is important to understand Enki's role. Enki was a brilliant scientist and engineer, the one responsible for genetically modifying the original humans. He was saying that there was a reason for them to be here, and that he needed them for a specific task. The implications of finding encoded alien information in human DNA would rewrite our understanding of human origins. However, what about the counterargument that these genetic anomalies are simply the result of natural mutation? The complexity and precision of the genetic code, with its intricate regulatory mechanisms and elegant structural organization, make random mutation an unlikely explanation. The genetic code is far too complex. If we are to believe that our history involves the Anunnaki, how does this affect the theory of evolution? But if the Anunnaki genetically altered humanity, what about the missing link in human evolution? Where is it? We all know that it is difficult to find the missing link. Is it possible it will not be found due to intervention? Could our species have been genetically modified to advance quicker? Chromosome 2 is a key point in why humanity is different. It is a hybrid that was genetically modified, a monumental difference in DNA. Connect the story of Adam and Eve and how it represents specific markers. Now, consider the relatively short timeline for the development of human consciousness and intelligence. What happened here? It is almost like a spark was ignited in an otherwise primitive being, setting them off on an entirely different trajectory. Science does not account for gaps within the evolutionary record. Scientists do not know everything and that there is more to learn. What we do know is that scientists are still in the dark. Consider this as we move forward. But if the Anunnaki genetically altered humanity, what else did they do to influence human civilizations? Ancient pyramids were built with perfect precision. Is it possible for modern man to replicate them? But how? How could these structures be built without a wheel or advanced construction tools? It is almost as if advanced technology was passed down from the Anunnaki to help build these structures. Did they not leave and want us to be successful? We've seen the evidence from Sumerian tablets, the anomalies in human DNA, and the mysteries surrounding ancient structures. The evidence has been laid and presented. All of this points to the possibility that humanity is not just a product of natural evolution, but a result of deliberate genetic engineering by an extraterrestrial race. This challenges us to reconsider everything we thought we knew about our past and our place in the universe. The next part might really shock you. Did you know that the Great Pyramid of Giza may be more than just a tomb? The core of this premise lies in understanding that these megalithic structures, scattered across the globe, represent not only architectural marvels, but also testaments to a level of technological prowess that surpasses our current capabilities. It challenges the conventional view of human history and hints at the existence of a forgotten, advanced civilization. But let's get specific. Dismiss the notion that ancient civilizations, armed with primitive tools and techniques, could achieve such perfect construction, suggesting that ancient civilizations were not primitive at all, but recipients of advanced construction. How could these ancient civilizations achieve perfect construction, dimensions, angle of placement, and mathematics that modern-day technology cannot achieve? The dimensions alone should boggle your mind. It all comes down to the mathematics of the universe. It is almost as if they were taught by people beyond Earth. What we will be discussing is beyond remarkable and leads to a deeper meaning within this journey. Consider the Great Pyramid of Giza. It stands as a silent sentinel, its precise astronomical alignment, dimensions, and construction defying conventional explanations. According to ancient texts, the pyramid was constructed with assistance given by the Annunaki. Provide data points. Its base covers 55,000 square meters. Its original height was 146 meters, and it is aligned to true north with incredible accuracy. Think about this and then ask yourself, could this have really been achieved by humans alone? The puzzle deepens when we consider other megalithic sites around the world. Stonehenge, with its massive stones transported from miles away. Baalbek, with its colossal stone blocks weighing over 1,000 tons. It is almost as if the stones were levitated or cut with advanced lasers to move and place them. Is it possible that the people had a sort of technology we cannot fathom? What we do know is that the pyramids and megalithic structures go hand in hand. What about the significance of the pyramid's astronomical alignment? It is very important. It's not just about pointing north. It's about aligning with specific stars, constellations, and celestial events. But what does that mean? This alignment symbolizes an intimate understanding of the cosmos and humanity's place within it. It implies that the builders possessed knowledge far beyond what we give them credit for. What did they know that we do not? Many theories suggest that the pyramids may have been used as power plants or communication devices. The Great Pyramid of Giza is precisely 1/8 of the distance from the equator to the North Pole. The precision is mind-boggling. It raises the question, how did the people of ancient civilizations know that? How can this be explained if they were not that advanced? What were these communication devices being used for? Now, let's address the counter-argument. Could these sites have been built by humans using simple tools and ingenuity? While human ingenuity should not be underestimated, the sheer scale, precision, and complexity of these structures strain the limits of possibility. There is no evidence to suggest that humans had access to these tools. It is as if the pyramids are far too complex for primitive tools. The Great Pyramid itself has puzzled people since its discovery. If the Anunnaki were behind our genetic makeup and assisted us with technology, how did this affect the evolution of consciousness? This leads us to another crucial point. The Anunnaki DNA may have unlocked certain aspects of human consciousness, accelerating our cognitive and spiritual development. But what does that entail? What does it mean that consciousness has evolved? What if the Anunnaki embedded certain abilities in our DNA so that we could ascend at a rapid pace? Perhaps junk DNA holds the key, acting as a reservoir of dormant genetic code that can be activated through specific practices or environmental triggers. Think of the ancient myths of superhuman abilities like telekinesis, telepathy, and immortality. Is it possible to connect these stories to genetic gifts passed down from the Anunnaki? What is truly inside our DNA? These ancient abilities are often looked at as godlike because they exceeded the scope of the common man. It is important to remember that godlike abilities were actually genetic gifts passed down. They weren't these magical entities that people believe in, and this changed our evolution to this day. But what does this mean for us? Humans have the potential to awaken their junk DNA and unlock hidden abilities. The third eye, telepathy, and heightened intuition are not just esoteric concepts, but real possibilities that can be unlocked with ancient practice and intention. It is an interesting point to keep in mind that these abilities are real, and people are reaching them. What does it mean to you if you could unlock telepathy and the third eye? Let's speculate about the Anunnaki's eventual return. The activation of dormant DNA could be an indication, signaling a shift in human consciousness and a coming golden age, as prophesied in many ancient traditions. It is as if we will be able to see them again. What this leads to is a change within our society. Now, let's address the counterargument that this is pseudoscience, and that consciousness is not linked to DNA. It is true that the field of consciousness research is still evolving, and that the exact mechanisms linking DNA and consciousness are not fully understood. What is understood about the body and consciousness is not enough to determine our future. It is difficult to grasp that there is so much to know. If the Anunnaki played such a significant role in human history, why is this knowledge not widely known or accepted? This leads us to another layer of the story, the suppression of this information and the potential existence of hidden agendas. What would happen to the world if people realized they were created by ancient aliens? What is the end goal? What if powerful factions don't want people knowing the truth about their origins and potential? A new world order and mind control could lead to the demise of the human race if we are not careful. Understanding this is vital for our future. If we don't, it will be a world of mind control. We've explored the advanced technology of ancient structures, the potential of dormant DNA, and the anomalies in human genetics. To sum it up, all of this suggests that humanity's origins are far more complex and mysterious than we have been led to believe. What is true? The truth is out there. What will the world do with it? If the Anunnaki engineered mankind, did they only alter our physical state? Suggesting the changes made went beyond physical appearance and affected our very way of thinking, perceiving, and interacting with the world. The genetic modifications weren't just physical. They also influenced human consciousness, with the Anunnaki embedding certain abilities related to consciousness, awareness, and perception into our DNA. What could these abilities be? What did these gods leave behind? What if the Anunnaki left the tools in our genome to allow rapid expansion of the mind? This altered consciousness had a profound impact on human evolution and technological advancement, accelerating our cognitive and spiritual development. It is not as if they planned it, more so this was the outcome of the changes. This is why people advance so fast and have these modifications to thank for the advanced thinking. Could it be argued that humans wouldn't be as advanced if they weren't altered by the Anunnaki? But what if much of our junk DNA is not actually junk, but genetic code from the Anunnaki that has not yet been activated? Perhaps this dormant code holds the key to unlocking higher levels of consciousness or new ways of thinking and perceiving. Ancient myths and legends speak of humans with god-like abilities. Telepathy, telekinesis, astral projection, and healing are just a few examples of advanced abilities that may have been normal in the distant past. Were these abilities truly supernatural, or were they simply the result of activated Anunnaki DNA? The Bible and other sacred texts could be passed down stories of true events. Genesis 6:4 says, "The Nephilim were on the earth in those days, and also afterward when the sons of God went to the daughters of humans and had children by them. They were the heroes of old, men of renown." This verse speaks of beings with extraordinary abilities, beings who were the offspring of gods and humans. Could these beings have possessed activated Anunnaki DNA? What does it mean to have activated Anunnaki DNA? But here's what most people miss. With the correct methods, humans have the potential to awaken their junk DNA and unlock greater consciousness. Exploring the concept of DNA activation through meditation, altered states, sound frequencies, or other methods. Some believe that practices like yoga, meditation, and plant medicine can activate dormant genetic code, leading to expanded awareness and enhanced abilities. Is it possible to tap into a source of ancient power and knowledge that lies within us all? If the Anunnaki left something, what would happen if it was activated again? Could this be the key to unlocking our full potential and ushering in a new era of enlightenment? The possibilities are both exciting and daunting. Perhaps this is why the elite, what some call the deep state, are suppressing our potential. This makes one wonder what they truly want. Now, let's address the counterargument that this is all pseudoscience and that consciousness is just a product of brain activity. It is difficult to quantify consciousness, but that doesn't mean it is not linked to dormant DNA. Quantum entanglement and consciousness are being tied together with great progress. It could be that consciousness resides outside the body. If abilities were encoded in our junk DNA, what does this say about the beings from our history? Gods, angels, and ascended masters are often depicted as having greater abilities than modern humans. Does this mean they were more genetically advanced? Were they more in touch with their dormant potential? It is interesting to speculate on the subject of gods. Did they achieve higher consciousness naturally, or was it the result of more active Anunnaki DNA? It is as if they evolved beyond the need for medicine. It's a compelling idea to suggest these figures achieved abilities far beyond what we can imagine today. But what were those abilities? Consider figures like Thoth, Hermes Trismegistus, or Quetzalcoatl. Ancient accounts describe them as having the ability to teleport, shape-shift, heal, control the elements, or communicate with other dimensions. Thoth, for example, was said to have possessed the emerald tablets, which contained the secrets of the universe. Hermes Trismegistus was believed to have mastered alchemy and to have possessed the power of immortality. Quetzalcoatl was revered as a god who brought knowledge and civilization to the people of Mesoamerica. What if these were all examples of humans with activated Anunnaki DNA? These stories aren't just limited to mythology. The Bible also speaks of individuals with superhuman abilities. Jesus, for example, was said to have performed miracles such as healing the sick, raising the dead, and walking on water. Angels are often depicted as powerful beings who can manipulate the elements and communicate with humans. Could it be argued that this is the power of God over man? Were these abilities connected to genetics? Propose these abilities were connected to genetics. That they were not granted powers but rather used their knowledge of genetics. Perhaps the Anunnaki gave them this DNA and passed on the powers to these select few. What if those that are awakened have memories of the past because it resides within? What if everything we know is only a piece of the puzzle? Of course, it's important to acknowledge that these stories are often interpreted as myths and metaphors. Myths often have symbolic meanings, but they could also be based on true events that were exaggerated over time. It is a fair argument to state that many of these figures had more than just superpowers. It could be that they were just advanced. With all this information, what is mankind's next step? Perhaps the goal is to become like gods, and maybe that was the plan all along, unlocking the true potential of mankind and ascending to the heavens. What if people start to awaken? Then what are they able to do? We've seen that there is potential for so much more than what we are currently capable of. The pyramids, junk DNA, and mythological beings all show that humans can ascend. If we continue, the world will change for the better. A new paradigm can be born if mankind can realize their own potential. Putting all of this together, is this to say the goal was for mankind to evolve into God-like beings? What will happen if the goal of the Anunnaki is finally realized? If mankind ascends, then what happens to the Earth? Perhaps the destiny of mankind is in our DNA. Did you know that much of what we consider history is a carefully constructed narrative, designed to keep humanity from realizing its true potential? The secrets of the Anunnaki, their presence, their impact, and their technology have been deliberately kept from the masses. The true complexity of our past is far more intricate than any history book dares to reveal. But who benefits from humanity's ignorance? What would happen to the carefully constructed framework of our society if people realized they were not merely evolved primates, but a genetically engineered species with a latent connection to beings from another world? There are indeed powerful groups who don't want people to know the truth about their origins and what could be. Power is connected to information, and those who are in the know are often those who wield the greatest influence. Consider the burning of the Library of Alexandria, a cataclysmic event that erased countless scrolls of ancient knowledge from the face of the earth. Or consider the suppression of Gnostic texts, which offer a vastly different perspective on the origins of Christianity. Throughout history, knowledge has been destroyed, hidden, and manipulated. Now, what if secret societies guard this ancient knowledge, holding it close to their chests, doling it out to only a chosen few? The Freemasons, the Knights Templar, and other enigmatic groups have long been rumored to possess forbidden knowledge, secrets passed down through generations. Are these groups merely harmless social clubs, or are they the guardians of a hidden history, a history that challenges the very foundations of our modern world? Power and control are connected to information, and that those who are in the know are those that have the power. The more you know, the more you are able to affect society. But why would these groups keep humanity in the dark? What are the motives behind the suppression of knowledge? The motives are multifold, starting with control over the population. Preventing the rise of enlightened individuals ensures that the masses remain compliant and easily manipulated. Preserving the status quo, maintaining the established power structures, and preventing any challenges to their authority is of the utmost importance to these factions. As such, the suppression of knowledge is not merely an act of historical revisionism, it is an ongoing battle for the very soul of humanity. But what methods do they use to keep us in the dark? Censorship, propaganda, disinformation campaigns, and the manipulation of education are the weapons of choice. History books are rewritten, scientific discoveries are suppressed, and dissenting voices are silenced. A carefully curated narrative is presented to the public, one that reinforces the existing power structures and keeps humanity from questioning its true origins. And perhaps most disturbingly, the Anunnaki themselves may be involved in this cover-up, subtly influencing human leaders and institutions to maintain their control. So-and-so was saying, the Anunnaki were masters of manipulation, and they are very deceptive. But with all this going on, how does a small group of people maintain control over billions? How do they keep humanity from waking up? Mind control and the manipulation of human consciousness are key tools in this ongoing battle. But what role do mass media, advertising, and entertainment play in shaping our perceptions and beliefs? Is it possible that our thoughts, actions, and beliefs are not entirely our own? What if external forces are subtly influencing our minds, shaping our perceptions of reality, and keeping us enslaved in a mental prison? A prison that we don't even know exists. Consider the subliminal messages embedded in advertising, music, and movies, hidden symbols and messages that bypass our conscious awareness and directly influence our subconscious mind. Consider the role of mass media in shaping public opinion and beliefs, the manipulation of news stories, the promotion of certain ideologies, and the suppression of dissenting voices. Social engineering and the manipulation of human behavior are not just conspiracy theories. These are documented techniques used by governments and corporations to control and manipulate the population. So-and-so was saying, humans have no clue how easily manipulated they are. But what if the world we perceive is an illusion? The concept of the Matrix, or a simulated reality, is not merely science fiction. It is a metaphor for the mental prison in which humanity is trapped. But what role do the Anunnaki play in creating this illusion? Are they the architects of this matrix, manipulating human consciousness to keep us enslaved? As Enki was saying, the Anunnaki created the matrix to prevent evolution. Some might argue that this is all just paranoia and conspiracy theories, and it is true that some conspiracy theories are unfounded. However, there is overwhelming evidence that mass manipulation is real. So-and-so was saying, it doesn't matter if people believe it as long as they do it. If humanity has been manipulated for millennia, what can we do to change that? Is it possible for humanity to ascend and reclaim its spot among the stars? The key to awakening lies in uncovering the suppressed knowledge and breaking free from mind control. The chains are on our minds. The key is to unlock them. A potential new world awaits if people awaken. Now, consider that if the truth is known, then humanity could become the powerful race it was intended to become. This means that if the truth is revealed, there will be a shift in power. But what does all of this mean for our understanding of human origins? The goal was for mankind to evolve into God-like beings. What will happen if the goal of the Anunnaki is finally realized? If mankind ascends, then what happens to the Earth? Perhaps the destiny of mankind is in our DNA. Perhaps this is why they have hidden everything from us. But what if we are just scratching the surface of a much larger truth? The shocking truth is, the secrets of the Anunnaki are far more complex and far-reaching than we can imagine. What lies ahead is the concept of dark energy and dark matter, and the role they have in our ever-expanding universe. As we reach the end of our exploration into the origins of humanity, it's time to reflect on the evidence before us. What have we uncovered about our past, and how does it shape our understanding of the present? Evidence of alien intervention suggests a deeper understanding of humanity is required. The shocking truth is that the Anunnaki were far more involved in our creation than we ever imagined. Throughout this journey, we have examined Sumerian texts, genetic anomalies, ancient structures, suppressed knowledge, and manipulation of human consciousness. The Sumerian texts provide detailed accounts of the Anunnaki, their motives, and their technology. Genetic anomalies within the human genome suggest that there was intervention beyond natural selection. Ancient structures, such as the pyramids, showcase technology that mankind at that time could not have possessed. Suppressed knowledge, hidden from the public, speaks to a deliberate effort to keep humanity from realizing its true potential. And now, the manipulation of human consciousness through mass media, politics, and social engineering hints at ongoing control. With this knowledge of hidden history, we can now understand sacred texts at a higher degree. The Bible, the Torah, the Quran, and other ancient texts take on new meaning when viewed through the lens of Anunnaki intervention. But what if the Anunnaki's genetic engineering wasn't an act of dominance, but a desperate attempt to preserve themselves? While all the evidence we have discussed points to the Anunnaki seeking to control mankind, new evidence suggests that they may have been refugees, fleeing a dying planet, seeking not worship, but survival. Their only goal was to outlive their own demise. What if they foresaw their planet's destruction and sought to pass down their DNA in a new way, seeding another world with their genetic legacy. This twist changes everything we thought we knew about the Anunnaki. Their goal may have been survival in a desperate attempt to cheat death, but what are the moral implications of such genetic tampering? Now that we know of this tampering, will we repeat it, and will we play God ourselves? Will we use the power of genetic engineering for good or for evil? The potential for both creation and destruction lies within our grasp. The Anunnaki were advanced, so could it be possible for mankind to also reach that level? If the Anunnaki possessed such advanced technology, what does this mean for the potential for humanity to evolve and grow? Can we unlock the secrets of our DNA and reach new heights of consciousness and understanding? Even if humanity has been under control, it can ascend to its true level. What if the suppressed knowledge is revealed? What if the mind control is broken? The potential for human evolution is limitless. The universe is an ever-expanding realm of mystery, and we've only scratched the surface. New discoveries await us, new worlds to explore, and new levels of consciousness to achieve. It is up to us to seek the truth, to question everything, and to embrace our true potential. Please subscribe to Astral Legends for more content, and consider how you can make changes to your mental health by going deeper into the truth. Do not be afraid to dive deeper into who you are. Stay tuned, for may the eternal light guide you, and tune in next time where we will discuss this very subject. Let the journey never end with you, as the outro animation will now play showing the channel logo. While the episode may end, continue to seek the true meaning of life. And so, the search for truth continues.